Hey guys, okay, so I'm on a roll tonight. So I really have just like been, so I will say this, one thing about being a school nurse is, which I'm a high school nurse right now. And I will say, like, coming from the hospital to coming to where I worked 3 12-hour shifts. So, and there may be some weeks where how they schedule it to where I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Oh no, I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then I may hit the jackpot on the schedule that week and may be off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then work Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I have this long stretch off, not working all week. Have 7 days off, work 3, off 7, on 3, maybe off 4, just a really cush schedule. Now, when you're at work, you are at work, you're working, you're taking care of the sickest of the sickest, but then it's like when you're off, you're off. So I went from that to now I am Monday through Friday, and while I have great hours, 8:30 to 4, it's really exhausting doing Monday through Friday. And I remember when I was getting ready to walk away from the hospital, and at that time I was actually going to go to a clinic. I had been hired as a doctor's nurse at a cardiology clinic. And so they were going to be the same. They were like 8 to 4:30. And probably it was going to actually probably be longer than that, because because this doctor was going to be working in the clinic and he was going to be working in the hospital. So, you can easily go over 4:30, and earlier than 8 especially when you're working in the hospital. So I remember a nurse came up to me after I had told her, and I honestly thought people were going to be happy for me, because even though a lot of people work in the ICU and work in these units for years, a lot of them are not happy. They hate it. But they stay because it's comfortable. It's what they know. They're good at it. Because I worked with a lot of nurses that knew their stuff, and they were excellent at what they did. And now they might have been a little lazy, but they were good. But not all of them now. Not all of them. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Kim. You look, some of the best nurses I know. But they just burnt out. So one of the nurses came up to me and they said, they're like, you really about to go to a Monday through Friday? And I was like, yes, absolutely. Because it's like, you get, when you're a 12-hour shift, you get to work at 6:30. Well, you're supposed to be there by 6:30. But if you're like me, you're psycho, you're anxious about what you're going to get, and you want to look through everything before you get there. You get there early. You get there at 6, so you can get report and kind of go through things and be ready for some of the doctors that may round early. So you get to work at 6, wake up at 4:35 to be at work at 6, get off at 7. We got off at 7 p.m. But if you had a crazy day, crazy busy, somebody coded, somebody just had a lot going on, then you may be there till 7:30, 8 o'clock. So even though you were when you were on, you were on. And so obviously when you wake up that early, when you have to be at work that early, you probably don't get to go to the gym. You really don't have a lot, well, I hate to say you don't have a life, but for me, I was usually ready to go home. They would be trying to do stuff after work. I'm like, listen, I'm ready to go. I am tired. And especially if I got to get up in the morning and do it all over again, no, I don't want to go hang out. Now, there would be some times where I would give in, especially if I didn't have to go to work the next day. But basically, I'm just saying, when you're with your 12-hour shifts, you're able to go, you're not really able to do anything afterwards. You just want to go home and crash. So I'm in my previous video, if you watched that, I'm a gym person. My gym, I love to go to the gym. I don't necessarily love to go to the gym, but I work out because I don't want to be 2,000 pounds. And so the class that I like to go to is at that time it was 4:30 p.m., 4:30 to 5:30, the group class. But obviously I'm at work. If I don't get off work till 7, I can't go to that class. So I'm missing that class 3 days a week. And then there would be sometimes, like if I really wanted to get it in, I would go at 5 a.m. because I had a 5 a.m. class, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. But that would be hard because I'd have to shower and be hauling behind to try to get to work on time. And usually I was late. So, on those days, everything was a done deal. Like I didn't get to go to the gym. If you have errands to run, if you need to go to the bank or go somewhere, everything's closed by the time you get off, or you're just exhausted by the time you get off. So, I was looking forward to a Monday through Friday because I'm like, now I can actually do stuff. Like after work, I'll be able to go to the store, go to the bank, go to the gym, especially getting off at 4. Let's say, 8:30 to 4. So now now the class is 4:15, so I'm still hauling behind. But now I'm able to go to the gym, but then, in my mind, I'm like, I'll be able to go to the gym. I'll be able to do all this stuff. And I was like, that's what I worked when I was a dietitian, which is this question, that Cass, which thank you, Cass, for asking this question. And she said, how do the schedule/work opportunities differ between RN and RD? So, and you know what? I just got on this video and I just started talking, but I'm just assuming that people that are watching will just watch them in order, but that may not necessarily be the case. But I guess I started talking about my work schedule, which I inadvertently did because I've been slacking on doing videos because I'm just tired. Like I work Monday through Friday now, and I am exhausted. So that just kind of goes and so that's it made me think about when like I said, when she asked me, do you want to do a Monday through Friday? Are you ready for that? You sure you want to do that? I was like, yes, absolutely. Like, and what I was saying was that's what I did when I was a dietitian. When I was a dietitian, and all my jobs as a dietitian were really, I only had 2 jobs as a dietitian, and both of them were Monday through Friday. Probably 8 to 4:30, maybe some 8 to 5, because they were both with the state. So usually that's the state of Arkansas. So usually that state hours is 8 to 5. So, but then when I went to the hospital, like I said, that's when I had the 12-hour shifts, but had a pretty cush schedule, pretty flexible. Now you do get into, and I will say this with working in a hospital, as you know, a hospital is open 24/7. So when I worked for the state of Arkansas, I did work every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, but I always had holidays off. I always was able to, I never had to work weekends. When I got off work, I was off work. I left at 5, was able to have a lot more family time. But then when I got to the hospital, even though I had those long stretches of 7 days off and that flexibility, I worked every Christmas. I worked Christmas Eve for 2 years. I worked holidays. And I'm not gonna lie, that sucks. And when you're the new nurse, you're the baby nurse, you're gonna get in on them holidays, okay? They're gonna make sure, if you work in a unit like mine, let me tell you something, them older nurses do not want to hear anything about rotating holidays. They won't hear anything. Not the unit I worked in. They don't want to hear anything about rotating holidays, about any of that. Like you're going to work, if you are new, you are going to work Christmas. You may work Thanksgiving, because a lot of them may messed up about Thanksgiving, so you may or may not work Thanksgiving, but you're gonna work Christmas. Let me tell you the holiday they don't mind, the main holiday they don't mind working. The main holiday, and now when I say the main holiday, I think of main holidays. I think of Thanksgiving, I think of Christmas, and I think of New Year's. Those are the main holidays. Don't nobody really be studying Memorial Day, 4th of July. Nobody really be studying those days. We're talking about the main holidays where you want to be with your family. So let me tell you something. The holiday that the nurses that we talk about eating that young, the seasoned nurses, you know what holiday they want to work? New Year's. All of them be on the schedule New Year's. That's the holiday that lets you have off is New Year's. Every other one you're gonna be working. Unless they don't really be worried about that much about Thanksgiving. So as a new nurse working in the hospital. Now, if you end up taking a clinic job or a school nurse job like what I have, you ain't gotta worry about that. But if you're gonna be in a hospital, which most nurses end up in, you're gonna be working them holidays, unless you just have a fair supervisor that's like, no, we're gonna rotate these holidays. But a lot of times, the older nurses be running the units. So like I said, when I was a dietitian, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, off holidays, off weekends, no call, none of that. But then when I became a hospital nurse, 3 12-hour shifts, which was great, but you're gonna work holidays when you're the new nurse. You're gonna work holidays. So something else I was gonna say about that. There was something else I was kind of saying before I diverted into asking the question, reading the question. But I will say, though, before I kind of get into my schedule as a school nurse, that because the question was, how do the schedule/work opportunities differ between RD and RN? So I've never really known a dietitian, to work 12-hour shifts. Even in the hospital, because you have dietitians there, they don't work 12 hours. They work 8 to 5. Now, they do rotate call. They rotate, well, no, they didn't have call after when they left, but like on the weekends, they would rotate the weekends. So that's something to think about if you work in a facility that's open 24 hours or that's open on the weekends, that you're going to have to rotate working weekends. And also, that's the same, because I kind of said with nursing, you're going to work the holidays, you're going to have the 12-hour stretch, the 12-hour days and on 3, all 4. But if you need a little bit of extra money, that 3 days could turn into 4 or 5 days. And you're gonna have to work weekends. Your unit may rotate weekends, or they may. Well, the unit that I worked in before I came to the ICU, we rotated weekends, but we were so short-staffed that we had to work every other weekend, which was awful. I'm not gonna lie, it was awful. But then when I got to this other unit, it wasn't to the ICU, it wasn't as bad. But you will be expected to work weekends as well, which kind of sucks too, because it's just like, that's when a lot of things go on. And like with my church, that's when we had a lot of activities, was on Saturdays. And I will say this, thank you, Lord, you helped me remember that, is obviously when you have a facility that's open 24 hours, night shift. And that was one of the things that I had to do when I came to the ICU, was I had to work night shift. And that's something that they made all the new nurses do, was once you came on, you had to work night shift. Now, by the grace of the Lord, I only had to work night shift for 6 months, which a lot of people that worked on that unit, that worked night shift for like years, like 2 or 3 years, because you would only get a day position if somebody on days left. So that was the only way you could get a day position, was if somebody left. So a lot of times people, it was, it's kind of ebb and flow. Like sometimes you go through a period where a lot of people are leaving, and then sometimes you go through a period where it's not really a lot of people leaving at all. And so it took 6 months for somebody to really leave. And then even with that, you're on a list. They put you on a list. And so they go down the list of when you came, and every time somebody would leave, they would start over on the list from the top and go down and ask, do you want to go to the days? So that was hard. That's how it schedules differ between RN and an RD, because as an RD, I never saw any night jobs. And even in the even the ones that work in the hospital, they don't ever have to work night shift. So that's a plus. That's a plus, that as a dietitian, you don't have to worry about working night shifts. That's probably the worst thing you have to worry about, is working weekends and holidays. So, which is something else they rotated, was holidays. And of course, when you're new, when you're young, you're gonna be on the top of the list to work holidays. So yeah, and night shift, that's a whole nother video. But I actually enjoyed night shift. I loved the culture of night shift. Night shift culture was just dope. Like, the people on night shift were kind of, laid back. I smile thinking about it because it was a dope culture. I love the culture of night shift. And if I would have been able to sleep during the day, because that's the thing, like, your body was not made to stay up all night. And it's probably, to me, I always used to tell my best friend Jared this. I'm like, working night shift is probably the equivalent of smoking, drinking, and having unprotected sex. Like, it's like in that category to me, because it's just not healthy. Like, it just goes against everything your body wants to do, and it just slowly breaks you down and deteriorates you. And some people are good at sleeping in the day, some are not. I was not. And even I found that the ones that do sleep successfully, they're on all kinds of medicine to help them sleep. Benadryl, Ambien, Seroquel, and even with that, sometimes over time your body develops tolerance to it, so it's like you got to keep upping it and keep going, so yeah. But a lot of nurses, that's the stead that they have to take is night shift. And honestly though, I really do think everybody should experience night shift that works in a hospital, because when I worked on my med surg floor and I worked days, I would always be trying to talk bad about night shift. I'm like, do they do anything at night? Like, what do they be doing? Like, I'm just pretty sure they just sit up here and just chill all day, which may be true, but for some, but it'll just kind of help you understand, like, it'll help you understand a little bit better, like, why maybe stuff isn't done, and help you just to be a little bit more not so hard on them. Now, some people on night shift just lazy. They just lazy, and it's but nurses, that's a lot of nurses on that shift that are lazy. But I saw it a lot more on night shift. But anyway, I digress. So that's another difference between RN and RD. And then, okay, so now let me get into being a school nurse. So yeah, the question was, why, are you ready to work Monday through Friday? Are you ready for this? Yes, I'm ready for this. This is what I did when I was a dietitian. I'll be fine. I'll be okay. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Monday through Friday kicks my butt. Woo! It kicks my butt. But I think this is the reason why, though, because so now I do enjoy sleeping in, which now I really don't get to sleep in much, but because my body just has been waking up earlier. But I enjoy not having to wake up at the crack of dawn. I enjoy not having to wake up at 4 or 5 to be at work at 6:30. So that's a good thing. I don't have to be at work so early. But I have to be there at 8:30, but I usually try to get there a little earlier because my kids sometimes beat me there. Or sometimes they like to, well, their bell doesn't ring until 8:50, but sometimes they like to come in a little early, which is a whole nother story. I'm like, now why you coming in here at 8:30? You just got here and you ready to go home. You sick. But so I try to, but especially the kids with medicine, like they sometimes when they want to come when they get off the bus. So I try to at least meet them when they get off the bus, be there for them. So I try to get there between 8 and 8:30, and then I leave at 4 and go to the gym 4:15 to 5:30ish. Sometimes I stay till 6 because I'm doing like extra stuff to get better. And then you may have to go to the grocery store. Or, on Tuesday nights, my church has this program on Zoom, Also's Matter, that's at 6:30, and it goes to about 7:30. And then on Wednesday, we have Bible class. So, so like your days just are so long. If you have a life, if you have things to do. And even like, when you, so like I said, when I get home from the gym, if I don't get home until 6 o'clock, like, it's time to cook dinner. It's time to eat. And so it's like by the time you cook dinner, you eat, you get ready for the next day, you shower, like it's time to get in the bed. Like, you don't have time to do anything else. Like, whereas maybe, when you're doing the 12 hours, like after you do all that, you're like, okay, good, I'm off tomorrow, so I can, catch up on all that. But it's like, it's just, it's just not, it just seems like it's not enough hours in the day. Like, I don't know, it's weird to explain. Like, I don't even know if you'll really understand it unless you work 12-hour shifts and you had those days off and that time off where you had such a flexible schedule, and then to do that Monday through Friday. And like I said, like, I do so much like after work that it's like by the time it's all over, I'm like, dang, like, I literally don't have time to do anything. So other than get in the bed and close my eyes. And then it's like, I really be wanting to kind of spend some time with myself. Like, I'll be like, I want to watch Divorce Court. I want to read a book. But then I'm like, if I do this, I'm going to be sleepy tomorrow. So, but obviously with being a school nurse, you're off in the summer. You get holidays off. You get spring break, a Christmas break, Thanksgiving break. So, you know, like you get time off, as you know, so it kind of all balance itself out. But, you know, like right now, so we had spring break. This is May. So we had spring break like 2 months ago. So usually though, we have have a break like every month. Like we have a day where we can kind of take off, like, you know, like Labor Day, not Memorial Day. But, you know, like every month we have something, but we haven't really had a break since spring break. So it's like now I'm feeling it and I'm like, man, I'm tired. Like, and then what I didn't realize too with Monday through Friday is the weekends go by so fast. Like, and it's like, you know, you put off so much for the weekend, and then the weekend is here, and then literally the weekend is gone, because it's like you get home Friday, and just like this Friday, like I got home late. I got home at like 7 or 8 because I was just out running errands trying to get some stuff done. And then it's Saturday and you're doing stuff, trying to get stuff done, and then it's Sunday, and the next day it's time to go to work. Like, so, but summer is coming up. This is actually, next week will be our last week of instruction, and they're going to be doing semester exams. And then the 27th, so today is May 15th, and the 27th is their last day. So it's getting ready to be over soon. But then I signed up to work summer school, so I'm like, I ain't never gonna get a break. But I'm only doing summer school Monday through Wednesday. So, and I did that purposely because one, I really do Monday through Fridays, that they are exhausting. And so I really do kind of get tired, and I've noticed that when I get tired, like I don't operate in the same energy. Like I'm not as peppy, I'm not as like talkative, like I'm a little bit more irritated. So we have a week break off, and so I'm going to obviously take that week break off and then go into summer school and do Monday through Wednesday. And then I'll have that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'll have that stretch 4 days. So when I come back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to be energized. I'm going to be revitalized. And then, of course, like I was saying, Thursday, Friday. And then I'm like, that'll give me time to like make appointments and, you know, do errands and different things so that I can actually have a couple days like on the weekend to relax or to do stuff because things are opening back up now. So to have time to be able to really to do that and not be so rushed trying to do other things. So anyway, Cass, I hope that answered your question. You really asked some really good questions. So if you need any follow-up, just let me know, girl. I'm assuming this is a girl. And also there was somebody else that posted a comment, and I answered, but I think I'm going to go ahead and make a video about that too, because somebody else may have the same question and they may not read the comments. So thank you all for watching. I'm sorry this video went super long, 24 minutes. I did not mean for it to go that long, but thank you all for watching, and tune in for the next video, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.